Hey friends, Tina Hockmuth here. Had a friend ask me a question today. Then she said, why are you keeping it a secret? She said I should let you all see behind the mask. So the question, well wait, before I ask that, let me ask you, what was the most devastating experience in your life? What's been the greatest disappointment? Have you let that limit you, hold you back, defeat you? Or have you used that to grow, to learn, to become stronger, maybe even to help others? You see, my backstory is I was born into poverty. My parents were teenagers into a very abusive home. My mom was 16, my dad was 18. And he was an alcoholic and most extraordinary man. But when he was messed up, he was very abusive. And I remember, well, in addition to that, I was blind. It almost sounds like a country song, right? Country music song. All you need now is for my truck to get a flat tire and me to lose my doggy. But no, I was blind. I mean, literally, well, I'll go on. Eye surgeries, eye patches. I tried the pop bottle glasses. And I remember at the youngest age climbing out the window to, because my dad would be messed up and abusive, and to call my grandma because she was the only one that could calm him down. And that was life as I knew it, right? As a kid. And I remember always wanting to be normal and always having faith. Because you see, when the other kids went to school, walked up the street, I had to get on the bus. All the short bus jokes, I lived them, except it was a long bus. And go across town an hour to the school for the blind to learn Braille, and to go to Iowa Commission of the Blind to learn how to cook without seeing and how to take the bus. And I just wanted to be normal. Well, when I was 10, I was given the chance, because you see, everything in my world changed as I knew it. My dad died in our house fire, and we lived. I'll never forget waking up to him leaning beside my door and just leaning, and the flames behind him. You see, what happened is he went back for our dog, and I'll never forget the fireman saying, "There's no way he's alive, he's gone," and me just instinctively running for the house to get my daddy, and them having to stop me and hold me back. You see, I got to be more normal then. That's when we moved into with my grandparents, and oh my word, my role model, my male role model, most extraordinary man you could ever know. Lost my grandpa about a year ago. He went home to be with my grandma in the Lord, and but anyway, on with this story. I got to go to the normal school and read books, large print books. And they have those big magnifiers for people that can't read well, normally for normal books. But I got to use those on my large print and got to be normal. Actually, elementary school was pretty normal, neat kids. But by high school, I remember the first boy, I was a freshman, and an older boy asked me on a date. And when I said no, the name Googly Eyes was formed. And anytime anybody got mad at me, that's what they'd call me. And man, you think of how cruel kids can be. And it seemed like so horrific at the time. Now at Easter time, I think persecution I went through is nothing compared, right, to the ultimate sacrifice. And anyway, teenage years, I remember, like every teenager being 14 and wanting to drive a car. And every year I'd take my mom to the DOT. And every year they'd send us away. Sorry. And I remember her telling the doctor, just tell her she'll never drive a car, because she didn't want me to be let down year after year. I remember that mean man saying, "You will never drive a car." Well, when you believe big enough, when you have faith, I remember fast forward a few years and my reality had changed a lot. And I've only shared this twice in my career, and this was one of those events. One of my mentors and now dear friends, Lynn Hagedorn, it was an event for her team, and she'd had multiple people achieve six-figure incomes, and they were being presented with their white Mercedeses. And I was given an honor. I was asked to be one of the speakers. The event was called Build It Anyway. How appropriate. It was about, the storms are going to come. Life's going to happen. But it's just going to make you stronger, right? And more resilient. Build it anyway. And I talked about that, how I was blind. When I was 10, here's some perspective. When I was 10, remember, I wanted to be normal. I was riding my bike, and right in front of my face, I couldn't see it. A parked semi-truck ran right into the back of an 18-wheeler on my bike. I couldn't see it. Anyway, I talked on this stage how I was never supposed to drive a car. I was never supposed to see. And I was not only driving a car, one of those white Mercedeses was mine. And I think of the challenges. As I was asked about this today, I think, wow, it's really been a large part of who I am. It's given me truly a compassion and a heart to see the greatness inside of everyone. And, someone may be like, why are you looking at me that way? And if it's me, it's like, wow, I can see their heart and I care. And I think of a time in our lives we'd went on, I was supposed to be a statistic, grew up on welfare, and went on to be one of the most successful construction companies of our kind in our state. And 2008, everything changed. The construction market, the real estate, the mortgage. And, we treaded water for a few years because we'd been wise, but years of not getting paid. We lost everything. I found myself 6 weeks from having our fourth baby on bed rest and praying, we were about to be homeless before she was born. Had a sheriff's sale date on our house and prayed that our financial provision could come from helping people change their lives physically and financially. And it's amazing. Felt like a failure. Yet I knew I was put on a three-way call, and I knew that was it. I felt it. From that time, we've went on to, from desperation, inspiration, been able to help 57 people create six-figure incomes, hundreds of people create full-time incomes. My favorite is over 5,000 thousandaires earning $1,000 a month or more. But, I think I was given the nickname for building paychecks fast, the nickname the Federal Reserve said to have a free license to print money. And I remember thinking, is that a blessing or a curse? It sounds like mansions and shiny objects. When for me, the money is about choices. And I worked so hard for my team and attached myself to their whys because, I look at this, and as I look back to that backstory, I realize I've known for a while that my purpose and my calling, I went from ministry into this industry, and I've known that my purpose and calling is inspiring people to see the greatness inside of themselves and empowering them to change the reality, that I lock onto my team's goals and dreams and help them make them their reality. And so here's my challenge to you. Here's my encouragement this Easter. Don't let your limitations limit you. The biggest obstacles are those we put upon ourselves. I think of Nick. Google man with no arms and no legs. This man felt hopeless and even thought of ending his life. Now, he's traveled the world. He does sports that most completely people with 2 arms and 2 legs in the best physical condition couldn't even do, and excels at them. He's living life to the fullest, traveling the world, inspiring people, happily married, a father. And you know what? The least of these riches is the fact that he's earned millions. Because every day he's living life to the fullest, right? Money equals choices. And so you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do that tonight for time. But I've been challenged to do videos for 30 days. A little scared to death. It's different when, you got a cameraman that can edit and make you forget there's a camera rolling than hitting play on your iPhone. But I'm thinking of some of those challenges, and I'm going to touch on them later. But, the 2,000-pound phone. Fear of public speaking. People would prefer death by drowning or a fiery death to taking a stage in public speaking. What about asking for the close, asking for the sale? What about doing anything new? Stepping out in faith. You see, all I am of proof of what's possible for each and every one of you. And I know life happens. I know that things happen in your life. When I look back at what I've overcome, what I've gone through since has been nothing, right? Each and every one of you was born with the ability to change somebody's life. Don't ever waste it. And it starts with you, right? Would you follow you? It starts with you believing that. At this time of Easter and grace and I want to say something to you that's not at all spiritual. You cannot serve two masters, fear or faith. Fear freezes you. Faith frees you. With faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. But first you have to believe to receive, right? And, I think of my favorite book, the Bible, and also Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret, another one of my favorite books. And it talks about, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened. And you've got to believe it. Because thoughts are things. If you plant poison in your mind, it's as fertile as soil. It'll grow. If you plant positivity and belief and faith in your mind, guess what? It's going to grow. And so here's my challenge to you today. If you don't believe for yourself, borrow my belief, and you do it afraid. Daily, consistent actions over time. Do it afraid. I am proof that each and every one of you has the greatness inside of yourself to change your reality. And I'm going to accept that challenge. I'm going to come back with some short training videos, including some of those topics. I want to thank my friend Lisa. This was a tough video. If it inspired you or blessed you in any way, let me know. She thought you needed to know the backstory. She thought I'd been keeping it a secret. So thank you guys so much. Happy Easter. Have an amazing day.